your partner at Quantum Black AI by McKinsey. Maybe you don't know Quantum Black. Quantum Black, in fact, is the center of expertise of McKinsey in AI, acquired in 2015. 50 people at that moment specialized on AI in Formula One. We have now more than 1,500 people specialized in AI across the world. We have done more than 10,000 AI projects in the last past years for the top 200 companies in the world. Today, I am very pleased to be with you to share some insight coming from those AI projects done at scale, and also some insight coming from a series of research efforts we have done in the last past years. I will, in particular, share with you first a perspective, a quick recap on the value creation potential associated to generative AI. Maybe you have in mind the research effort published at Vivatech 2 years ago, where we have shared a perspective on the value creation potential of generative AI. Just to give you an order of magnitude, we are dealing here with more than 4 trillion of dollars of value creation potential across industries, split across different functions. This is a huge value creation potential, more or less equivalent to the GDP of UK. Every year we are monitoring the degree of adoption of AI across companies. We have a sample of 1,500 companies interviewed every year. And we have observed that in the past 5 years, the degree of adoption was relatively stable. More or less, it was around 50%. What do we mean by adoption? In 50% of the companies' interviews, we have at least one business unit, one function, leveraging significantly AI. We have observed a significant shift in November 2022, at the moment of the launch of ChatGPT. And since then, we have observed a clear increase in AI investment. It's not a surprise, in particular in Gen AI adoption. So most companies have started to invest significantly in AI and started to deploy AI. However, in what extent they have been able to capture the expected value from those investments? And on that point, the answer is not so positive. Based on our latest research effort, less than 10% of companies have been able to generate impact at scale with AI. When we are referring to impact at scale, we are referring to a concrete impact on the EBITDA of the company. So we are still at a stage where most companies are experimenting AI, doing a high number of POCs, deploying a high number of use cases in pilots, but they remain not deployed at scale, and the value is still in front of them. However, we have some companies that have started to capture the value at scale, and so we have done a research effort in order to understand the recipe, the magic recipe of those companies. And we have identified 3 key success factors to capture AI at scale. The first one is what we have called strategic focus. What do we have behind that? We have identified some interesting characteristics at AI champions on that aspect. The first one is that instead of investigating a high number of micro use cases across the company, they focus on a limited number of domains for which they adopt a transformative approach. Instead of doing multiple POCs across multiple functions, they choose 2, 3 business processes, and they invest massively to transform those business processes with AI. So this is the first important aspect. The second important aspect is that they are investing not only in the development of AI application and AI models, they are massively investing in change management. Just to give you an order of magnitude, those AI champions, when they invest €1 in the development of an AI application, they are investing between 1.5 and 2 euro in the deployment of this application, in particular in change management. Why? Because this is the only way to capture the expected value from this AI application, in particular by transforming business processes, adapting the way of working of collaborators, upskilling collaborators. The third very important aspect in the strategic focus area is related to the approach to assess the value and also the build and run cost of AI application. Here we have observed a major difference between AI champions and other companies. AI champions are very rigorous in the development of robust business case, not only in the identification of value, but also in the estimate of build and run cost. Here it's important to have in mind that with GenAI, compared to traditional tech investment, the ratio between build and run is very different. You have all in mind that in tech, historically, when we were investing 10 euros, it was necessary to plan for 1-2 euros of running cost. With GenAI, it's totally different. When you invest 10 euros, you could need 10 euros or even 20 euros to run the GenAI application. If you don't take that into account, your AI application will be simply not economically viable. So AI champions have understood that, and from the beginning, they design AI application that can be contained in terms of running cost. The second very important characteristic of AI champions is related to their, let's say, technical approach. They have fully industrialized their approach on all aspects. For example, access to data, fully industrialized through the setup of a data product, making data very easy to consume, and making data pipelines reusable from one use case to the other. On the contrary, AI laggards are still developing one new data pipeline for every new use case. Similarly, AI champions are systematically adopting a modular architecture for their AI application, reusing 40 to 70% of the components from one use case to the other, thus reducing significantly the lead time, but also the development cost of AI application. The third very important characteristic of AI champions is related to their operating model around AI. Most companies have set up an AI factory or an AI lab to support the development of AI application. Unfortunately, very often this is not sufficient. In particular, if this AI factory is operating as a standalone organizational unit, not enough connected with the historical IT team or with the business. AI champions has a very different operating model. They have adopted what we call the federated operating model. Of course, they have a center of expertise for AI, but they have also deployed, teams in the business unit, in the functions, in order to ensure the rollout, the adoption of AI application, and they have set up a very strong collaboration with the technology teams. And finally, one important aspect observed in the operating model of AI champions is around the skill set. Most companies have recruited data scientists. Even if we have still not yet enough data scientists, this is not the main issue. The issue is more around the ability to industrialize data management or to industrialize AI application. And for that, they need data engineers, they need MLOps engineers, and those categories of profiles are still not, I would say, enough present in most companies. And therefore, they are able to develop application, but they are not necessarily able to industrialize the data aspect of those applications or the run day-to-day operation aspect of those applications. So you have here a summary of the key characteristics of AI champions. We could think that this is the end of the story. It's not so simple. In particular, with the emergence of AI agents, this will have to evolve again. We are anticipating that the value creation potential of AI will be increased again with agents, in particular thanks to the ability to transform end-to-end processes. If you take the example of a service desk, 2 years ago, we were developing a chatbot, passive application, reacting to customer requests. Now we are able with agents to transform end-to-end, automate end-to-end, for example, claims management. Client is claiming for something, an agent is going to address that claim, process the claim, propose a solution. It can be a reimbursement, it can be a credit note, negotiate with the client the best option, and then execute this option, the reimbursement or the credit note. So we are moving from a passive, isolated tool to a fully autonomous agent. This will allow to really radically transform business processes, and we are expecting from that an additional value creation potential. Of course, this will require to adapt the way to manage AI in companies, and in particular, adopt a more integrated approach between tech teams and AI teams in order to interconnect AI agents with the historical technology landscape of companies. Thank you very much.